This is an anti-hate response to a video called Destiny, the Little Promise Left by YouTube user Crescel1HumanOST. I will focus on the title of this hater video, and I'd like to point out a trait that many of the haters share. This seems to be the systematic common sense, aka logic, of the haters, that being a seemingly superior positioning, as if one is placing oneself onto a pedestal up there somewhere, looking down at the world, looking down at destiny, and in a way belittling what we do and what we stand for. What is fascinating is that this projected superiority can in fact only come from an actual inferiority, an inferiority that is not seen, not realized, not recognized. But if one look at the word inferiority, one can see the word fear within it. And I am certain that many people have been able to observe within reality that we tend to bully or attack that which we fear. We tend to judge that which we fear. And so in an attempt to make oneself feel more than, make oneself feel more powerful, one choose to belittle others. So this starting point is seen within the title already of this hater video, Destiny, the Little Promise Left. The other word that is deliberate to misdirect, misrepresent, misinterpret what destiny is and what destiny stands for is the word promise. And it is fascinating because if you actually look into what it is we at Destiny are sharing, is that we will no longer allow ourselves and this world to depend on promises. And look at what things have become a promise in this world. Money is based on promises because money is dead. Politics is based on promises. Even relationships, marriage, are based on promises. Look where everything is going towards. Look how everything ends. Everything ends in disaster. Everything ends in disappointment. Everything ends in failure. Now at Destiny we say we are no longer accepting or allowing ourselves and this world to depend on promises, and we are not making promises. Rather, we will ourselves, and we suggest that each one will oneself to stand up and be the one that makes a difference. Because as long as we allow ourselves to depend on promises made by anything in this world, because look, everything in this world is directed by one thing, and that is profit. And that is why nothing in this world can be trusted, and therefore we have no choice but to actually learn to trust ourselves and to trust each other. I mean, look at how we the people exist. We exist in fear of each other, and there's nothing and no one we can really trust. And it is no wonder if we look at the world And yet we have to learn to trust ourselves. We have to learn what it means to stand in self-trust. And we have to learn to trust each other, because if we do not work together, we are going nowhere. So, as a response to Destiny, the little promise left, I would like to urge every single one that is listening to this to investigate what it practically entails, what it practically means to take self-responsibility. And to dare and look into the Destiny tools of self-honesty and self-forgiveness, because these are the tools that life can use to stand up, that self can use to establish self-trust, to get to know oneself, and to deconstruct the patterns we have been existing within and as, so as to get to the core of self and take directive. Because if we do not take directive, there can be no change in this world. There can be no change in the way we coexist. There can be no change in what we call life. And at Destiny, we do not promise you anything. We live our realizations. We walk the talk. And we stand as a living example of what is possible. In the realization that if we do not take things in our hand, because we are here, because we are responsible for what is here, because we see that this world can no longer be allowed to be dependent on profit and the current money system. Investigate equality and oneness. Do your research. And allow yourself to see what it means to stand as equals of life. Then there is no need for such inferiority-superiority patterns. These patterns being the vicious cycles humanity is trapped in, busy blaming each other and pointing fingers, but no one willing to take actual responsibility for what is here. Given the current condition of the world, we are going nowhere if we are focusing on finding who is sublime. The only solution is to stop. Stop, purify oneself, learn to trust oneself, and then learn to trust each other and work together. This is the only way. And that is the way of radical forgiveness, starting with self-forgiveness, starting with self, and expanding this point into and as the world. And if you look at it, the equal money system that Destiny proposed is the ultimate forgiveness for the world.